Hello ladies and gentlemen, I've just came back from watching Quantumania and this is random afterthought, so there will be spoilers, so you've been warned. Now, the show is decent and there's good reason for that. Now, before I go to that, I need to say that the trailer done a really good job. They misled me. When I first watched the trailer, I saw this.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance.
God damn, that line. I thought that Scott decided to go full on crazy and decided to help Kang, the guy that can destroy multiverse and a lot of timeline. I thought he went crazy, but it turns out that it's just really clever editing tricks. So I need to give them kudos to make it this way so that when I go into the show, it feels different. I wasn't not expecting anything. I was trying to see what is just happening and enjoying my experience. Now there are some downtime, but overall the show is entertaining. There is just one big problem: the film. It feels like I'm watching a very familiar show. Now I'm gonna give you some example, and you can see what I meant. First, Empire fleet sending armies trying to attack rebellion forces. Then, troopers of the similar uniform. This is a bit nitpicky, but fully armored troopers that looks the same, circular base, and another view of it. A lot of circus utilization for some reason. Then Empire troop army as well as two different fighter plane of sorts. Then we also got the Empire leader looking down at his Empire. And the best part of all this happens in the big space. So if you haven't guessed it already, this feels like a Star Wars movie. Like, it's not 1:1. There's a lot of like its own kind of elements, but the feel, the vibe, it just feels like it for some reason. And I do have to say that some of the alien design is pretty nice. I like some variety of aliens. But in general, yeah, that is the story plot. It feels like watching Star Wars movie. But other than that, there is also like some gripe I can't get past when I watch the film. First, MODOK. This guy is kind of a unique character in my childhood, but in the grand reveal, should is someone we knew, then, and guess what? Because this is Disney, there is a redemption arc for the bad guys, and MODOK happened to be the one. And the best part is he just suddenly woke up from the terrible nightmare trying to be a good guy for some reason. I'm not sure if this is breaking characters because this guy hated Scott for a very long time since he got crushed and turns to this being because of him. And could you have guessed what kind of motivational speech or reality check he needs to become a good guy? Well, it's pretty simple. Like, look at Kang. Imagine him as Cassie. And that is MODOK. As simple as that. One fist to the face and he's woken up already. Suddenly become the good guy, trying to help us defeat Kang for some reason. And the next thing is they have to kill him for some reason. He had to die after trying to give Kang a big hug. And I don't blame them. Maybe the technology is pretty intensive. Can you imagine how expensive it is to have MODOK at the background with his face always at the back scene, trying to trace, make sure his forehead is super silky, reflective, smooth. I'm pretty sure that is pretty difficult for CGI. That's why he has to die to make the CGI much easier for the future movies. So unfortunately, MODOK has to die. But then I'm still clinging on hope they're going to make maybe some other variation of MODOK just for fun. We just want to see. I just want to see some killing weapon flying around. So that's the end of MODOK. Kind of lackluster, but it is what it is. Looking back at this scene, it really bothers me that why did they want to go and turn back this device back to its normal self? Like, I can understand that Scott Lang wants to do it for his daughter, okay, But once she has been told and explained by Janet to not do it so that Kang cannot get back to the universe and starts destroying everything. And you may say, this realm can get them confused really badly, And when notices this scene, he saved Ant-Man. Then next part, she went to help Scott turn back the core back to size. Like, why? If you leave it alone, Kang will never get back. The universe is safe. And at that point, you may say that, okay, the scene, everyone is super confused. She has to get out of here, so they have to shut down the core. Now, that is valid, but she looks pretty cool-headed in that scene. She's like the least confused. Like, when you see Ant-Man, he still panics and freak out, but for her, she panics a little bit and, she's like, okay, this is just my possibility, nothing more. She has all the time in the world to explain to Scott Lang that you don't want this thing go turn back to size, which will give Kang the chance to grab the core and go off away. We know they can't beat Kang with like brute force, they just lack the power to do so. Then another thing is, okay, maybe you can also theorize that, they are pretty hungry about the science behind this infinite energy that is so safe. So they want to perhaps turn the core back and escape back to Earth and research it to do some kind of new experiment. That is also a possibility, but it's not happening, isn't it? So this scene, I don't know what to say then. Now the next thing is, when we talk about the core, well, I'm kind of curious, like, how did Kang manage to get so much material to build an entire empire filled with the energy source that is like so high-tech, out of this world? And a lot of example of he managed to use the said energy source to do all this stuff. And earlier in the stage, he is also working with Janet to manage to fix the core. So technically, if you can fix the core, you have the material to make the core, isn't it? Like, unless you're telling me they can't find the material, but Kang is the most resourceful guy I ever seen. He can manage to source all this material to build an empire, but Kang can't get the material to do that. I have no idea why. Unless it's explained, the core is unique material that only Kang managed to get. When he was born, he made this material with his own saliva, or his byproduct of his bio waste. I don't know. This is so unique that I don't even know how to explain. One last bit that I really want to touch is this one. The Ant-Man suit. The suit that is pretty brutal, like we see in this scene. And bam, one big hole. Brute force. Just a brute force is enough to crush the helmet. That is how strong the Ant-Man suit is. But what do you think if this suit was to face the wave of Kang's decimation beam? This beam can vaporize targets, like make them as good as they didn't exist before. And what do you think if this laser were to touch the brittle suit that Ant-Man is wearing? What is the effect gonna be? Well, if you probably guessed it, it will not explode. Like, you see Kang blast Ant-Man, he don't die. And this is like a super high-tech weapon that is designed to extinct life, destroy things. I don't know what's the property of the weapon, but from the film, I saw a clip of him spamming lasers. Like this one, in this scene, like after that, he was like shooting the pew-pew laser. The same thing as he did to Ant-Man. The people disappear, they die. So his suit is either made of super powerful material that is able to withstand the likes of Kang's advanced pulverizing laser. So it's pretty damn good. And this is a material from Earth, mind you. And it can even fight against species that looks like a sun. So this suit can withstand the might of very strong energy weapons for some reason, despite being made on Earth. I've seen this scene, like, what? So If you tell me, am I worried about the Kang invasion? I would say no. Why would I be worried about the invasion? I just get Scott and the rest of the Ant-Man team to make more suits, to make giant shields, and they basically won the war. Now, Kang's greatest mistake is to not have blunt weapons, like what do they call it? Kinetic weapons, like guns, actual bullets, rounds that can pierce through holes and really break armor, because it's the most effective thing that he ever done in the entire film that can break his armor. Wait, let me go back to the scene. Like, in the entire film, the only time the Ant-Man suit broke was through Kang's violence. So all he need to do is to have the original ballistic weapon from ancient medieval time. That's all he needs to defeat the Ant-Man. And he would have already teleported back to his realm and have fun destroying his brothers at arms of the Kang dynasty with all the variation of Kangs. Okay, that's a bit much, but you know, that is Kang's failure. And also, one more thing about Kang's failures is really just this.
You may not want her to watch this.
We had a deal.
He's trying to be a dick. Like, honestly, if he honored the deal with Ant-Man, I don't know what will happen, because he probably will be like, you know, I got Cassie, I'm happy, you know, I'll just screw off. Like, what can you do after that? He's not going to be angry and go into the base full of like rage. He's maybe not going to attack. You know, he's going to need the alien invasion forces to give motivation. It's going to push him back a few minutes of time, enough for Kang to escape. But no. Oh, and one more thing. If Kang have honored his deal, Cassie would not have been in his base giving the rebellion message to attack. So all this is Kang's fault. He screwed up big times. And all of this because of what? Because of his ego as a conqueror. He lost because of his ego. So maybe that's a life lesson that Quantumania is trying to teach us. Almost to the last bit, the one last thing we need to go through is the end credit scene. Now there's two. The first one is something that we can talk about. There is like a multiverse of Kangs, right? I'm really not too worried about that. Beside the meme shit about Ant-Man's suit being a great shield against Kang's weapon, the second thing is his core. Like, we've seen that all the Kangs say that we can't defeat him. This Kang, whatever we try, we cannot kill him. So technically, this version of Kang is super strong, enough to fight against all the different Kangs. It makes them look pretty weak. And the best part is, all the Kangs thought that the Ant-Man managed to defeat Kim, which is really wrong, because what defeats Kang was his own weapon, his own technology. That's it. Of course, you do need to put in pin particles and mash it up, create some kind of crazy nuclear fusion, maybe, and twist reality to kill Kang. But the truth is, all you have to do is to sabotage the core. And you tell me, of the multiverse of Kang, so many versions of Kang, there is not a single one that is super duper smart enough to create such a big malfunction on his core to destroy him together. Well, I mean, they did try. The reason why Kang even fall into this quantum realm in the first place is someone thought of the idea to screw him with his core so that his spaceship will just cease to work. It works great, but why can't they sabotage it further to make it into a nuclear fusion and kill this Kang themselves? That's all they have to do. That's it. So even the Kangs of the multiverse, they also screwed up in their plannings. They even have like annual meetings to talk about Kang, and they failed to see this. Gosh. Okay, one more thing also is, did they have like some kind of heart trackers or something? They knew exactly how Kang died. Like, does his suit send back a signal, or does this version of Kang actually call back to his brothers and say that I'm coming for you, my brothers. I will be free soon with my cause. I have finally retrieved it. So beware of your asses, and I will come right back up to the surface, and be ready that I'm gonna kick your ass. What was that? What the plan is? Did this version of Kang actually make a call, an interdimensional space call back to his brothers to tell to them his situation? Or is there like some kind of spy camera that record each Kang's life force that sends some kind of data to all the Kang on what did they do before they die? I have no idea. Like, that dimension is out of their reach. They never even know it existed. It happens by malfunction, so how did they even get some signals back to this place? I have no idea. Like, even Kang don't know how to get signal from quantum realm back to the normal universe. Like, he needs MODOK. He needs MODOK help to do it. MODOK is the one that managed to track the signal so effectively to make it possible for this whole film to be possible. So, what the heck is happening? Like, is Kang that terrifying? And I think the last bit is about the second credit scene. The second credit scene is about Loki, that have met Kang before. Now he said again, so I assume Loki has saw Kang before somehow, but I've never saw Loki TV series from Disney Plus. So kudos to you, Disney. A very nice Easter egg that I've no idea. Now it's on me. I didn't subscribe to Disney Plus to watch the whole entire series to know what is going on, so my bad. Maybe I should have researched everything, all the shows, in order to understand what is going on with the films. This kind of reminds me of the same issues with like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Other than that, this is pretty much it from my memories of watching Quantumania. Pretty decent. Isn't enough to get me on the edge of the seats, but it's entertaining nonetheless. So I'm pretty sure you guys watch it. So you guys knew if you have slept in the movie theater, the show is shite, or there's not enough of the laughter. It's not that funny enough, Like, this film has some jokes.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Here and there, and that's it from me, truly. Bye bye.